Everybody, it's Miss Karen, and before I show you how to make milk magical, I'm going to read you a story, and what better story than to read A Fairy in a Dairy. Now, our summer reading theme for the younger children is about imagine your story, and this story is very imaginative. And what better story than to read one about a dairy farm, which is where you would find some milk, right? Some cows, milk products. Can you think of some things that are made from milk? Let's list them. Milk, cream cheese, ice cream, yum, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, whipped cream, and there's a lot more. But let's get started and see who exactly is the fairy in the dairy. It is written by Lucy Nolan, and it's illustrated by Laura J. Bryant, and it's published by Marshall Cavendish Publishing Company. So here we go. Let's get started. Buttermilk Hollow was a pretty town. Buttermilk Hollow was a friendly town. But Buttermilk Hollow was a town in desperate need of magic. "I don't know what's going to happen, girl," said Farmer Blue as he milked his favorite cow. "The young people are moving away, and Buttermilk Hollow is drying up." He stopped to scratch Pixie between the ears. "A toothpick company wants to build a factory here," he said. "We could get rich, but we would have to sell our land." He picked up the bucket and sighed. "What this town needs is a fairy godmother." Well, the very next day, strange things began to happen around Buttermilk Hollow. Little Annie Colby lost her tooth, and when she woke up the next morning, she found a tub of frozen yogurt under her pillow. The day after that, Jenny Tilsit was ironing a dress for the dairymen's ball. "I'm so tired of this dress," she said. "I wish I had something new to wear." And the very next morning, she found a beautiful gown made entirely of Swiss cheese. So you can see Swiss cheese is known for its holes. Soon, dairy products began appearing everywhere. "It's the strangest thing," Farmer Blue told his cows. "Sam Stilton was thinking about selling his dairy farm. He said if he were meant to stay, he'd receive a sign." And boom, a can of condensed milk hit him right in the head. Pixie just nodded her head and mooed. "Moo." One by one, the for sale signs started coming down. "Rats," said Mayor Clabber. "This land is right in the middle of all those farms, or my land. If the farmers don't sell, then I can't sell. And if I can't sell, I can't get rich." So he sent Sheriff Curd to investigate. So in other words, looking at this map, everybody, here is the mayor's farm, and he needs everybody else around him to sell their land to the toothpick company so he can sell, and then he would get rich with everybody else. "Tell me about the frozen yogurt," said Sheriff Curd to Annie Colby. "Well, I woke up with a neck ache," said Annie, "and there it was, a gallon of banana yogurt under my head." Anything else?" said the sheriff. Well, it was magic, said Annie. See, there's a trail of fairy dust. Said Sheriff Curd. Tastes like powdered milk to me. Next, Sheriff Curd went over to Jenny Tilsit's house. Tell me about the Swiss cheese, said the sheriff. Well, it appeared during the night, Jenny said. I was having a lovely dream about milk, but then it just evaporated. And when I woke up, there was that glorious gown. Sheriff Curd searched the ground under the window. Anything else? He asked. Well, I heard a bell, said Jenny. It went bring, bring, like little fairy bells in the night. Said Sheriff. It sounds like a bicycle to me. More dairy products started showing up each morning. The townspeople found brie cheese in their bathtub and mozzarella cheese in the mailboxes, and Eddie Ricotta even found a Munster cheese hiding under his bed. There it is, a round Munster cheese. Well, word spread quickly. A fairy must be loose in the dairy. Why is everyone getting so excited about cheese? Mayor Clabber wondered. He himself didn't like cheese. Well, not anymore. He had dearly loved Limburger cheese as a child, but his mother wouldn't let him have it. She said it made him smell. Excitement churned through Buttermilk Hollow. It was fun to listen for bells in the night and then find a pound of butter on your porch. More visitors were coming to the town. The hotel was filled with people who enjoyed waking up to find cream cheese under their pillows. But best of all, the young people were staying. They fixed up their family farms. They opened restaurants and ice cream parlors. Signs popped up saying, "Move to Buttermilk Hollow. It's utterly delightful." Rats, said Mayor Clabber. No one's leaving this town. No one's selling their land to the toothpick factory. I'll never get rich. So he called a town meeting. What's wrong with you people? Said the mayor. Someone is breaking into your homes and leaving cheese, and that doesn't bother you. It's a fairy from the dairy, said Annie Colby. It's a burglar, said the mayor. Buttermilk Hollow isn't safe, and we should move. The townspeople ignored him. They finally had a reason to celebrate, and that hadn't happened in a very long time. Let's have a festival this weekend, somebody shouted. Yay, a dairy festival, said Jenny Tilsit. Soon the town was decorated for a party. On Friday, a big bowl was rolled into the town square. It was for the giant ice cream sundae that would be made on Saturday. Love ice cream sundaes. If there really was a fairy, Mayor Clabber knew she would show up on Friday night. So he set a trap with a net and a rope to catch her. The mayor and Sheriff Curd hid by the hedge, and soon they heard bring, bring. Then they saw a pink bicycle. Sheriff Curd pulled the rope, and down came the net over the ferry. On came the spotlights. We got her, shouted Mayor Clabber. In the meantime, over in the center of town, Early Saturday morning, volunteers began building the giant ice cream sundae. The town square was filled with people expecting to have fun. But Mayor Clabber had other ideas. "You've come here hoping to see a fairy from the dairy," he said, "but I'm afraid you're victims of a cruel prank." So he opened the big crate that was on the stage. "See," he said, "there's nothing special here, just a cow on a bicycle." A gasp rose from the crowd. "Pixie, is that you?" said Farmer Blue. Pixie just blinked in the sun. "See, it's only Farmer Blue's Jersey cow," said Mayor. "And why is she riding a bicycle? Because she can't fly. Real fairies can fly." "Is it true?" said little Annie Colby to her mother. "Is it a joke?" Well, the townspeople looked at Pixie. Pixie closed her eyes and hung her head. "Are you just a cow?" said Annie Ricotta. And let's see what happens. Moments passed before Pixie opened her eyes. And then slowly, very slowly, she rose from the ground. A soft breeze ruffled her pink tutu and she floated higher. Up, up she rose, and when she was as high as the top of the sundae, she showered a basketful of cherries on top. And the crowd cheered. "Yay!" "She's flying," said Annie Colby. Well, Pixie wasn't just flying, she was doing loop-de-loops. She was doing barrel rolls. She was buzzing the crowd, then circled over the mayor and winked. As the sun rose higher, the ice cream sundae began to melt. And the mayor's heart melted too, just a little. For in his pocket he suddenly found a piece of Limburger cheese, his favorite. "Hey, you smell bad," Eddie Ricotta told the mayor. And Mayor Clabber did something he hadn't done in a very long time. He smiled and probably chuckled.
Hi boys and girls, welcome to my magic milk video experiment. I'm Miss Karen and I'm from the Lake Hiawatha Branch Library, and today we're going to figure out how we can make milk magical. So some things that you're going to need at home. You're going to need some milk. I just bought a small little thing of milk. This happens to be whole milk. But I'm going to say that if you want to expand this experiment and you have different percentages of milk, let's say you have 2% milk, and a percentage means it has less fat. Whole milk means it has a lot of fat in it. It's very creamy. It tastes really great. If you have 2%, that's a little bit more liquidy, 1% or skim milk. So I'm using whole milk. You also need some dish detergent. I'm using Dawn, and I need food coloring. I have a variety pack and a shallow dish. I happen to have a small round baking dish that I'm going to use, or you can use a plate, or anything that you could put the milk in that is, you only need like maybe a quart of an inch of milk, not even that much. So just a very thin layer of milk for this experiment to work. So let's get started. I'm going to take my milk and I'm going to pour, oops, I forgot to take the little plastic part off. I drink a lot of almond milk at home, so I didn't get a big container of milk. So I haven't opened this milk up yet. And I'm going to pour some milk at the bottom of my container just so that it covers the base of it. You don't need a lot. A very, very thin layer of milk on the base. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my food coloring. And I'm going to take your time with your food coloring. You'll only need 1 to 2 drops, and you want to be careful about where you put it. You want to put it in the center of your milk in a circle. So I'm going to put green over here, 2 drops of green. And as you can see, the green is staying on the top of the milk, on the surface of the milk. Okay, so 2 drops of red over there. And then I'll put 2 drops of blue over there. And the drops are staying in their own little zone. They're not meshing, they're not colliding with each other. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can make this milk magical and make something really, really special happen with the food coloring by dropping my 1 drop of Dawn dish soap in the middle. So you want to be very careful and then drop 1 in the middle. Wow, look at that, boys and girls, it's magical. My hands did not touch that. And look at the colors go. Whoa, they're still moving around. And you don't even have to touch it. You could just sit here and explore how the colors are moving around in the milk. And that's why I said you really don't need a lot of milk. You could even use a bowl if you wanted to. Just put a little bit of milk in the bottom of a bowl. But the bigger the surface you have, the more dynamic, the more explosive the milk and the food coloring can get. It can go in all different directions. Let's see if I maybe use my fingers now, 1 finger, to see if I can get some of the food coloring to keep moving. And you can see the food coloring, some of it's staying in its own little zone. Like the blue is still blue, the yellow is still yellow, the red is still red, and the green is still green in their own zone. And you don't really see a lot of mixing of the colors. Like, what does blue and red make? Okay, blue and red makes purple. There's not there's a little bit of tint of purple over here, maybe over here. And yellow and red make orange. I really don't see any orange on here. So as you can see, there's not a lot of mixing of the colors. But when I just swirled around the milk with my 1 finger, you could see that the milk and the food coloring is still spreading. It's still moving on its own now. I'll bring my camera a little closer and you can see. See that it's still moving on its own, spreading, and it's like little explosions in the milk. Okay, so now that we saw the explosive magical milk, let's figure out how that happened. So it all has to do with the dish detergent. Now, a dish detergent inside here is called phosphates. And phosphates, boys and girls, breaks down the proteins and fatty components in the milk. Like I told you in the beginning, milk does have some fat in it. And the phosphates in the soap is what breaks down all the grease and the grime and the dirt that are on your dishes. And that's what gets your dishes clean. When you drop the Dawn in the milk, you've created a surfactant. The Dawn dish soap is acting as a surfactant, and a surfactant lowers the surface tension of the milk. And the surface tension is like a net or a barrier or a layer of, let's pretend it's like an invisible layer, top layer of the milk. And that was what the food coloring was laying on top of. When I first dropped the food coloring in, you saw that it didn't spread, it just stayed in their little circle blobs. And that's because it was hanging out, almost like, let's say they were on floaties on a pool. And when I dropped the Dawn dish soap in, it acted like a surfactant. It broke that surface tension. It broke the net. It broke the floaty that the food coloring was laying on, and it made the food coloring just explode all over. It made it expand all over my tray, allowing it to spread. So when you break the surface tension of anything, it is really like a net. It's like the surface tension looks like this, and then you drop something into it, and then whatever's laying on top now cannot stay in one place. It now has the ability to move around. And that, boys and girls, is the science behind the magic milk experiment. I hope you have fun doing it yourself and exploring the different possibilities with different types of milk, different types of trays, and even different types of dish soaps. Have fun. Bye.